Hey everyone, welcome to Point and Prove. This is Put a Finger Down, Strict Parents Edition. If you put more than 30 fingers down, then your parents must be strict. If your parents are strict, then subscribe right now. And yeah, don't forget to comment below how many fingers did you put down. So, are you ready? Let's begin. Put a finger down if you had to ask for permission to go to a friend's house. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to date until a certain age. Put a finger down if you had limited screen time. Put a finger down if you had to follow a strict dress code at home. Put a finger down if you had to call or text your parents constantly when out. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to have social media. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to sleep over at friends' houses. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to decorate your room the way you wanted. Put a finger down if your grades were monitored constantly. Put a finger down if you had to go to bed at a specific time. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to eat junk food. Put a finger down if you had to earn your allowance through specific tasks. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to play video games. Put a finger down if your parents read your texts or emails. Put a finger down if you had to do homework immediately after school. Put a finger down if you had to participate in family activities instead of going out. Put a finger down if your internet usage was monitored. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to have your bedroom door closed. Put a finger down if you had to get approval for any purchases. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to skip family meals. Put a finger down if you had to attend all family events and gatherings. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to wear makeup. Put a finger down if you had a strict morning routine. Put a finger down if your friends had to be approved by your parents. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to go out on school nights. Put a finger down if you had to ask permission to use the car. Put a finger down if your parents set rules about who you could be friends with. Put a finger down if you had to explain every purchase you made. Put a finger down if your parents decided what you wore to school. Put a finger down if you had to go to bed early on weekends. Put a finger down if your parents set rules about what music you could listen to. Put a finger down if you had to get permission to watch movies, even at home. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to wear jewelry or accessories. Put a finger down if you had to check in frequently when at a friend's house. Put a finger down if your parents set specific rules for your online profiles. Put a finger down if you had to do chores before being allowed to go out. Put a finger down if you had to do extra chores as punishment. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to have your own pet. Put a finger down if you had to explain for every gift you received. Put a finger down if you weren't allowed to go to concerts or events. So, are your parents strict? How many fingers did you put down? Make sure to comment below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to watch this one too. Subscribe, and don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Thanks a lot.